How did you get yourself into a position where you're getting noticed? Because I think that'll really be beneficial for the listener.
Absolutely. Well, what's interesting, Adam, is that I don't know when I got to that point. In 2023, I think it was, I had decided that I wasn't going to do my podcast anymore. I was like, this is too much work. I don't really want to do this anymore. And I was speaking at a podcast conference, and they had an award show, and it was a relatively good sized event. And I won. If you can see over my shoulder, if you're watching the video, there's an award over my shoulder that I won Best Female Host of all of 2023. And I was like, what? And not that I didn't think that I was a good interviewer, but I didn't think I was going to win that award out of the people that I was up against. And so I came home, and then people started talking about like, oh, my show is ranked here and my show is ranked there. And I was like, that's a thing. Like there's tools out there. And that's when I discovered that the show was actually doing really well. So I can tell you some of the things that I've done that I think helped get it there, but it's hard for me to pinpoint exactly since I don't know when I got there. But a couple of the things that I have done is, number one, I shortened the length of my show. Because just like our credit scores are made up of like, oh, 30% of your credit score is based off of this and 35% of your credit score is based off of that. What I learned is that the longer people are listening to your episodes, the podcasting algorithm gods don't think your content is good if people aren't getting all the way through it. Well, what I realized is that I didn't think that that was the case because I was getting rave reviews and people were telling me like how good it was and how much it was impacting their lives. But I just realized nobody had time to listen to the length of show that I was recording. So one of the things that I did was I shortened the length of my show. I was consistent, obviously, because that's, one of the things that they tell you how to do is to be consistent. But I think the best thing that I did is that I didn't decide for my listeners what it was that they wanted to hear. I actually did deep research on what it was that they wanted and needed. And I asked a good number of people that I considered to be the type of audience that I was wanting to reach exactly what it was that they wanted to hear. What did they feel like they were not hearing? And what it was that they really thought was going to move the needle in their business and in their lives. And I noticed a sharp trajectory up once I started to do those things instead of just like, here's what I think they should have. This is what I think they should listen to.
Yeah. Okay. So those are the three main things. Is there anything else you can think of that we should delve into?
Absolutely. I started focusing on how do you use your podcast to monetize in a way beyond what the gurus are telling you. And I recognize that so many podcast hosts specifically, because I have a guiding belief, Adam, and that belief is that if you have a message, you should have a podcast. But I also believe that a podcast without a business model is just a hobby. And so many podcasters are living beneath their profit potential because the gurus are telling them that the way that you monetize your show is sell some merchandise, have some affiliate links, get a $250 ad spot. And I think that that's stepping over dollars to get to dimes. I think that the same message that you have, the same area of expertise that you are highlighting in your show, that you should be using that to land higher value activities like corporate contracts, like corporate sponsors. Like, why would you want a $250 sponsor when you could get somebody to pay you $25,000 to come in and do a workshop for the same stuff that you're talking about on your show? So when I started doing that and I started telling podcasters like, listen, you could make serious money from your show if you would just start looking at building an ecosystem around your show and recognizing that the business model that you grow around your show is really what's going to elevate your income. Now, when we started talking about that last year, that's when it was like, shh.
Okay. All right. These are good. So I'm going to go through the four things. You shortened the length of each episode. You stayed consistent. You didn't decide what the listener needed. You did research instead. And Also, you focused on how to use the podcast to monetize, and you taught that content, and other people gravitated toward that. My first question is going to the first piece that you said. You shorten the length of the show. I think it might be beneficial for our listener to understand that in a little bit more detail,
Yeah.
what the length used to be and what you got it to.